Wavelengths by Jerry Hughes, Episode 22. At Westonfield 185, a staff meeting tells of Lisa's whereabouts and why, but Mark Foster needs some reassurance. I couldn't help noticing the looks on one or two faces around the newsroom, particularly that of Jill Casey. I'm sure she didn't believe a word of it.
I think you handled it very well, Mark. You're worrying too much. It's very feasible that Lisa would fly back to the States to be with a very sick relative.
But it isn't true. I don't think I was that convincing. I'm no actor.
You convinced me. And I know the absolute truth. You leave Jill to me.
Wayne, what are you doing here? I've come in to work. I don't think that's a very good idea. If I don't work, I don't get paid. I've got to do something. And as long as Lisa isn't here, then I'm happy to do my job as normal. Have you heard anything from Lisa? No. But I'll bet you have. No. Strange. Judging by the way you two were wrapped around each other the last time I saw you both together. And not for the first time, I hasten to add. I thought you'd be both in constant touch, if you know what I mean. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, how would you expect me to react? The first occasion I could and did turn a blind eye, the festive cheer and all that, but a second time... Yes, okay.
So, Mark, which of us is presenting the PM show today?
I am, Helen. It's in my contract and it's what I'm paid to do.
Do you think that's wise?
Why shouldn't it be? Because, Wayne, you are understandably upset and very uptight. What do you care? Believe me, I do. I'm also responsible for how the output of this station sounds. The buck stops on my desk while Lisa is away. So, where is she then? Where have you all packed her off to? If you'd been here for the staff meeting earlier, you'd know that Lisa has flown back home to New York to be with a very sick relative. Truth too much for everyone then? Look, there is no need for them to know about the Greg Kiesland affair. Believe me, Wayne, we're trying to get this thing to blow over for Lisa's sake. Please bear with us. Hey, Lisa. I didn't expect to find you up this early.
Hey, Paps. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh, that's no problem, honey. Any coffee left in that jug?
Oh, sure. Sorry I didn't pre-warn you that I was flying home. Actually, I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, thanks. Oh, it sure was a surprise. However, knowing my rather go-ahead and sometimes wayward daughter as I do, I can't help wondering why.
Well, to see you, of course. I was missing you.
That's real sweet, honey. But you'll have to do better than that. Something wrong with your new husband?
No, nothing at all.
So, how come he didn't fly over with you?
Oh, he's busy. Only just taken over the PM show, so he's pretty committed for now.
I thought you were the boss of this radio station.
Well, I am.
So you call the shots. You could easily have taken Wayne off that show and brought him with you. I'd sure like to meet him again. It's been a while since your marriage.
Well, perhaps next time.
Sure, perhaps.
I'd, forgotten just what a great view you have of Central Park from here. There are certain aspects I do miss very much.
Okay. So why, all of a sudden?
I'm, considering coming home.
But your British work permit hasn't run out yet, has it?
No.
Hey, come and sit next to your old man, who can read you like a book.
Oh, come on now, Dad.
There's something, Lisa, you ain't telling me. And I ain't gonna settle until you do.
Or I guess it'll be the Martin Child's third degree, huh?
Better believe it, sweetheart.
Kevin, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Anton.
So, what's been running through your mind since last night, then?
Oh, all sorts of things have been running through my mind. And before you ask, I haven't said a word to a soul.
Not even to Dave?
No. I've had a job to take it all in myself. Also, the fact that my own father's involved with Newbury professionally.
And your ailing landlady? She's held so-called spiritual medium get-togethers for years. Trying to contact the dead is all very well, but trying to get yourself over onto that side with sniffing the cocaine is something else.
I've been researching cocaine. It would explain Miss Moxon's stroke. From what I've discovered, the addiction can lead to heart attacks, strokes, well, you name it.
Got it in one. Yeah, Newbury and I got Pally over the Eastern Development Scheme because the council wanted the press on his side in the face of much opposition. I also supplied him with as much cannabis as he wants.
Oh, I see.
And he's put all his trust in me. And yes, your old landlady is storing some for me.
Of course. The plant in Miss Moxon's back garden. Like Dave pointed out.
You see, the old girl was feeding me with more news. She insisted I pay her for it, though. I've also warned my old man about her, that she ain't as innocent as people might think. Not that Pater believes me in the slightest about that.
Well, no wonder she's had 2 strokes. She must have been heading for them.
Still hanging on in there, though. Under the circumstances, she is best out of the way, for her own sake. So, what might you be intending to do, Kevin? Tell your mum and dad and old Dave about what you know?
I can't really say at the moment, Anton. Mind you, Dave does know that there was something odd going on involving the Newburys.
No.
He did stumble across all that cocaine in boxes upstairs at the villa.
Parting of the ways, Kevin. Don't think you and I should be seen together now. Look, when the time is right, the police, who've been monitoring the Newburys and their movements, will be given the signal and a drugs raid will take place.
Surely not on Miss Moxon's place. Look, do I get the radio station involved?
Not while Lisa Chards is in charge.
But she's not. At the moment.
Eh? What do you mean?
Mark Foster's deputising. We all attended a staff meeting to be told that Lisa has flown home to New York. Something to do with a very sick relative.
Oh, yeah. Very likely. Go on, pull the other one.
Don't tell me, Anton. Yet another W185 revelation you know something about.
I consider myself a very good journalist, Kevin. And if it's got something to do with an incident she was involved in about 5 years ago, then yes, I certainly do know something.
Hey, Helen.
Oh dear, Wayne. Not the best of shows, was it?
No. I thought I could handle it, but perhaps I fooled myself.
I think you need to have a break. It goes without saying that all this business with Lisa has been too much for you. You're obviously not concentrating properly.
But being freelance, if I don't work, I don't get paid. There's nothing for me for time off or sick leave, not like there is for you.
No, that's very true. Well, perhaps Mark could put you on a less intense show at another time in the schedules.
Oh, yeah, so you can conveniently get your beloved PM show back.
Wayne, it wouldn't matter who presented that show as long as you get a rest.
I wondered if you'd come out of the studio as yet, Wayne. I think we need to talk, don't you? Haven't you and I said all there is to say? Not about the appalling presentation of today's PM show, I've got nothing further to say to you, Mark Foster. Well, that's rather unfortunate, as I'm currently in charge of this radio station, and I've got plenty to say to you. My wife is still the boss around here. But she isn't here, and while she's away, I have that dubious privilege.
Can I poke my oar in, please?
Look, Helen, this is strictly...
Between the three of us, Mark. Might I suggest we all go to the manager's office and have a much-needed chat?
So, is it to your liking then? The spaghetti bolognese? Oh yeah, fab. I haven't seen much of you since you got back from the lovely nat of this place last night. You were already in bed and sounder when I got back. So, How was the lovely Natalie?
Yeah, fine. Lovely new flat. Very spacious.
Oh, be room for you to move in with her then.
You don't give up, do you?
Oh no, perhaps you're both waiting to pool your resources. Her 40 odd grand and your chance to have a new Eastern development house on the cheap. Oh, match made in heaven, I would think that'd be.
You are just unreal, Dave Lasky.
So are you going to tell me how the evening went then?
I was hoping you might tell me about yours.
Well, not a lot to tell. Went to the Woodlands Arms, had a pint or two with pasta and chips, then come home.
Oh, right.
As a matter of fact, that new doctor from St Bethanswood Surgery, Richard Evans, he was in the pub.
Oh, the one that dealt with Miss Moxon and her injured forehead.
Yeah, that's him. It's his local too. Do you know, he's a big fan of the Avengers, just like me.
Perhaps you should invite him round to watch an episode with you. Do us both good to have individual friends. Perhaps that's our trouble, Dave. Living too much in each other's pockets.
I wasn't aware that we were. Anyhow, I only bumped into him and got chatting. It's not as if we're both friends as such.
Do you think our relationship's a bit suffocated at times?
I must admit, I sometimes think it ain't going very far, let's put it that way.
Which brings me back to what I was saying about it being perhaps a bit too suffocating. I think we should have other friends.
Well, perhaps we should. Unless, of course, you're trying to let me down, gently.
So why didn't you tell me this before, Lisa?
I didn't want to upset you and Mum.
You can only be thankful that she's no longer around to hear this. It would have killed her anyway.
I know. I don't feel proud of the affair. I also don't feel guilt.
Sweetheart, how could you possibly not know that this kid was only 15?
I swear to you on Mum's Bible, Dad, that Greg Teesland looked and behaved much older. When it all blew up, he admitted that he'd lied to me.
Oh, jeez, Lisa. All these years and you kept it from us.
I had no option. It would have been too much for you both to cope with.
You could have been arrested and imprisoned for indecent assault on a junior. If you go back to England, you could still be. There, as with here in the States, not knowing that a junior is just that is no defence.
Yeah, I know, Dad.
I don't see how you can safely go back to the UK. I'm surprised you got away with it for as long as you did.
I've already explained to you about it all being brushed under the carpet to save the faces of those involved and that of the radio station.
Yeah, I hear all that. But knowing you as well as I do, honey, I cannot begin to wonder what made you even go back to that radio station where it all happened.
The opportunity to become manager was too much. And Tom Madison had promised to help me all the way along. Besides, after all that time, I thought maybe things would have calmed down.
Unfortunately, life being what it is, these things have a nasty habit of coming back and biting you on the ass.
Yeah, so true. As happened with Helen Kennedy and Carl Russell.
Honey, I'm not just saying this for my own selfishness, but stay here where you belong. Going back to the UK is too risky.
I hear what you're saying, Dad. But I have to risk it. I have too many loose ends to tie up. But maybe I'll stay for a few days more before I do. I need to do more thinking.
Wavelengths is written and performed by Jerry Hughes. The music is by Gary Dawes.